Oh, hey guys, you know what I'm doing now? Yeah, we're back. I'm ready. Okay. So the new host, Tom, he just posted the first video 8 hours ago. The first new game theory video, but we are not watching that today. We are finishing this one. But I think I might do the last video one instead. But we already did a part 1 on this, so I guess we gotta do a part 2.
For the ones working hard so things can keep running.
More than just the host. And when you think about it, not host. It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, hey, I want to create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. I hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friends. And sure, game theory is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot. But at the end of the day,
It's true.
It's more than just the host. It is a show. It is a format, and in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more than just the host, and when you think about it, not a lot of YouTube channels function that way. We're special in that regard. Like, you're not going to be able to get another Markiplier stepping into the Markiplier channel, and you're never going to be able to recreate Jenna Marbles, and to be honest, you're never going to get another Matt Pat either, but you can have another game theorist. You can have another film theorist or food theorist or style theorist. I think in a lot of ways, we almost function kind of like the Doctor Who of YouTube, where as one host fades away, a new one kind of respawns in their place. And they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format and make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels. And so, my era is fading away and someone new is coming in. Maybe this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition, right? It was good, solid series episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channels? Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that have been appearing more and more frequently. Like, yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it in my voice, but in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research. It's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we could spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't game theory. It was always the game theorist.
Okay, I haven't watched a lot of his videos. I mean, I have watched a lot of them, but not enough to know what that even means.
Because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with The Science, and Lee with The Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal: to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still try to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO. OWO? See? I learned. But if we're doing that
I
for
haven't
all these other
watched that in most
creators,
of the other
why aren't we
channels.
doing it for the creators on our own staff, who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple of years? I have been fortunate. I have been so blessed to have this platform available to me that you've given me over the last 13 years. But I think now it's time to pass it on to the next generation. It's time to give someone else a shot. But I realize that I'm getting off track here. So back to the question, who's taken over? First off, it's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would not wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as Old Man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that, but it is accurate. Most importantly, though, they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the 4 of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's going to be taking over Film Theory, and Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10 years. It's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channel. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret, and then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel. And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very different case here. When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in, and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in studio.
Just need a little drink.
Everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in, and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in studio. Incredible. And all of that while being responsible for packaging somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping that maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. And now here it is. And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory, and Tom over here on Game Theory. And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory. We were their childhood show, which, to be fair, just shows how old we are. Santi would eventually go work at Mythical with Rhett and Link before coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting me mercilessly make fun of all of his recipes. He's much better than I give him credit for. I just like giving him a hard time. And then Tom, he worked at Disney and Fox, but he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm going to show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're going to have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming out. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also he's a bit off the cuff at times, like how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since.
Okay, I accidentally paused the video, and okay, I just forgot what I was going to say.
So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're going to have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not...
I didn't know there was a Bendy the Ink Machine movie coming out. I didn't know that. But that's pretty cool. I want to go watch it.
Not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming out. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also his appropriate level of insanity. He's a bit off the cuff at times. Like, I don't know if you saw on a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag on the moon.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even that.
The moon? I don't think he actually believes that, but if he does, we're gonna get some weird Majora's Mask theories. Let me tell you, when I go out at this point, I am recognized at least 5 times.
Wait,
It's
why doesn't he
crazy.
believe them?
Really
Why
high
doesn't he
number at this
believe?
point. And it's
Okay, 1 second. Why does Tom not believe in the moon? Just asking that question. I'm gonna dream about that tonight.
fascinating split because 50% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You were my childhood. I loved watching your FNAF theories. And I'm always like, well, FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You are my childhood. I'm watching you right now. I loved your most recent theory. That's awesome. That's such an honor. I've been so honored.
You know what? I've watched a few of MatPat's old videos. And his older videos are still better than mine right now. They're better than mine. Well, that's saying he was like... He is way older than me. He was way older than me when he started. And I wasn't even alive when he started, so... Yeah, okay.
To be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods. And that just kind of leaves us with one final question, right? Which is, what about me? Where do I go? Do I just retire to a beach somewhere? Do I whip a nene off into the distance? No. I'll still be here. Obviously, first off, we've got our final 10 episodes, like I said, so that's, well, it wasn't 10 episodes. However many episodes are left between now and March 9th, we got those. I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future. Probably until the end of the summer, that feels about right. And then we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi, Lee, Amy, and Tom step up and take over the hosting role. But I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP. But now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist,
Wow.
but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying.
Has anyone ever noticed that? Why does he have a Squishmallow taped to the wall? Just pointing that out.
Media that I can now make a reality and the channels can comment on them. Things like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really going to dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes lore-fi. I am so stoked about this. The music is sounding really good. The animations are coming together really well. That's going to be launching in a couple weeks. We'll see if Lee over on Film Theory is going to be able to solve it. In April, I'm actually going to be coming back onto Style Theory to host a giant fashion show that we're doing there. We all collectively had this thought of like, hey, online brands, online influencers are coming up with their own apparel lines. Why is there no place to showcase that sort of stuff? And then it hit us like, hey, we have a style and fashion channel. Why aren't we doing it ourselves? Creators in Fashion by Style Theory, that is coming to you in April, hosted by me.
Yay.
Some of the time that I'm not hosting the channels, I'm going to be practicing my runway walk. Because let me tell you, if I'm sashaying down the runway, if I'm stomping the runway, it's not going to be pretty right now. So I need to practice that a little bit. There's also this animation show that we did a pilot for in like the middle of last year. It's basically like if you took Gravity Falls but aged it up.
Just checking how much time I
Made it
have.
about adulting. It's really, really solid. And also there's this video game idea that I want to do for like so long that I've never had the opportunity to really like dive into and make reality. But now it's my chance to step into the role of Scott Cawthon and challenge the new game theorist. There's always been the memes about, are Scott Cawthon and I the same person?
Well, I have to go. I'm sorry. I will do the rest of this next time. That'll probably tomorrow. Actually, I did a video on Friday, and today's Saturday, so I'm gonna make an extra video on Sunday. So I will see you in the next one. Bye. Like and subscribe.